First of all, check out Big Steve, one word, on YouTube. He does these late night streams, kind of a stream of consciousness. Well, no, I guess there's some structure to them. Stuff. And if you're looking for a late night live streamer, he is very, very good. The thing about live streams is, for some reason, they are way more interesting to me than a pre-recorded stream. Even if they're, as long as there's someone I follow and have the bell click for, I'll usually click over from another video just to hear a live stream. And I've been listening to him the past few nights. He's trying to do more and more on YouTube. And he's got a lot of talent, and especially if you're just looking for someone to interact with late at night. And it's kind of cool now because his streams are still small. You can get in there, you can talk to everybody. It's kind of nice, and people are interacting and following each other if you're, interested in each other's page. So check out Big Steve, one word. I think he's the third search result down, and you can see you can join us for one of his live streams. And if you want to get on, he'll probably invite you on. It's not a problem. So I was looking for some comic cringe to review. And Sue Deconnick, she's the woman with the red hair, I should have posted a picture of her, who says, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my comics. And I swear to God, that's an accurate representation of her vocal inflection. She has this bizarre voice. I think it's her hatred inside. It's just venom. It's from pure evil. Time Bandits. She's just pure evil. She hates men. Which is kind of weird because I think she has a kid. I think she has a son, and she's probably married. But she really legitimately hates men. She is a legitimate misandrist. So I was looking for a cringe review. So I went looking for her latest book. I couldn't find what she was working on or what her latest book was that I hadn't already taken a look at. So I figured, I'll go to her YouTube channel. Or I'm not her YouTube channel. She doesn't have one. She should have one. I'll go to her Twitter and she'll, like, the pinned tweet will be, she'll post people who are in the industry. Usually I would assume their pinned tweet would be the book they're working on right now, or the first couple tweets will be, them pushing the book. Hey, check out Jawbreakers or Iron Sights or Red Rooster. That's the difference between Comicsgate and the mainstream professionals in comics books. And yes, professionals is in quotes because they act anything but like professionals. People in comics books in a Comicsgate who have their first comic out, they actually act like professionals. They're respectful to their audience. They will, they'll talk to you, and they want fans, and they want people to buy their books, and they won't block you or call you a fascist if you disagree with them politically over who got elected president, because they're not insane ideologues. That's Comicsgate. The mainstream people are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. It's funny how in 2008, people didn't suffer from Obama derangement syndrome. They just accepted it and went about their life because, Anyway, I was looking for cringe, couldn't find it, and going to her pinned tweet to look for her publishing a book, what she's working on. I don't find it in the pinned tweet. I don't know what this is about, but it doesn't say. So the first tweet is about another comic book. Odd that your first tweet would be about someone else's work. Then this is about something else. This is about another person, Aquaman, so that's about someone else's work. Who to follow? Yeah, Mark Waid, that douchebag. I don't think I'll follow Mark Waid. Let's see. Is this her tweet? No, it's someone else. I mean, this is someone else. No, I don't want to join Twitter. Twitter's cancer. Twitter makes people crazy. Just absolutely insane. So that's not her work either. That's someone else's work. Kind of weird. Yeah, Young Ripper just covered this. This is the Deadpool Kelly Thompson. Big announcement. I'm writing the new Deadpool ongoing. It begins in November. The artist by the absolutely incredible Chris Bachalo, which is two dream come true for me in one shot. Is this April Fool's? Let's take a look. I assume it has to be a joke because Deadpool requires a sense of humor, and Kelly Thompson has no sense of humor, and she's an insane feminist. So I don't understand. Someone in the comments was joking that this means this is the actual death of Deadpool. So whoever predicted this date wins. Okay, so that's someone else's work, and this is someone else's work, though it does mention Bitch Planet, which is her work, but they're talking about these books are available at a library, so they don't contribute to sales. I mean, the shipping to a library, you might ship the library a few copies, so that's good, but people are just checking them out. Admittedly, they might check it out, they might fall in love with your work and buy some of your books, but I don't think anyone's falling in love with Bitch Planet. It was very mediocre. It was just basically men bad, and blonde-haired men are the worst. Okay, so that's not a current work. This is, I don't know, some dirty, smelly hippie thing. This is something else, something to do with some kind of GoFundMe type of thing. This is backing someone else's work. Okay, this is talking about another artist. Okay, finally, a dozen tweets later, she gets down to a tweet. It says, so this guy made us a bunch of Pretty Deadly the Rat gifts, but I don't know what to do with them. Suggestions. So if you don't know, in 2013, she had a series, Pretty Deadly the Rat. It ran for 10 issues before either it was planned to only run for 10 issues, or more likely it just got canceled for low sales. I haven't read it, but I'm sure, if somebody goes for 10 issues, it's probably not great. So she has a new book coming out in a couple of weeks that is called, I guess, the reboot of Pretty Deadly the Rat, because I guess they ran out of ideas. So why you'd want to reboot something that got canceled, years ago, I don't know, but it seems to work for a lot of other properties like Iceman and Captain Marvel, and pretty much anything that gets canceled due to low sales gets rebooted, sometimes literally months later. It is a strange business model, but I'm sure the big brains know what they're doing. Something about she hates men, something about Netflix, something about women and men, so that usually means she hates men. Some random weird stuff that happens in Florida. Okay, this is all well and good. Something about another artist. Is she ever going to actually push her book? I mean, she pushed it once. She messed it once. Okay, so she talks about a lot of other subjects. And then finally, she doesn't talk about her book directly. She retweets somebody talking about her book. Got 54 likes and 2 comments. Hollywood Reporter, a long time ago when your boy was getting started, he got 0 publicity. Even though it's kind of funny. I mean, what he did was he raised $400,000 for an independent comic book. You would think the media would be going crazy over that, or at least, the media that specializes in this kind of thing. You would think he would get a lot of publicity, right? Of course not. Of course not. $400,000, $404,000, an amazing feat, and the media is out almost dead quiet about it. Nobody talked about it. They were terrified to talk about it. That legitimately probably had them scared, because the artists and writers and editors are looking at this and they're thinking, okay, well, $400,000, it's a little bit of competition for an outsider, an independent. But the people with money who are behind the comics, the people making decisions, look at that and think, why aren't our products selling as well? So your boy had 0 positive publicity until the campaign was over. Then everyone came out and bashed it, even though it hadn't been released. They bashed it based on the little bit of art they saw and saying things like, well, it'll never get delivered, and he'll never be able to repeat his success, all this kind of stuff. It's just sour grapes. So, of course, it does get delivered. People like it. They like it so much that the second book is also being made. And if his second campaign is even better is even more successful than his first campaign. Anyway, so that should make them nervous, but they're kind of in an echo chamber. And he got no Hollywood Reporter. Who gets these kind of positive tweets, positive retweets, and positive publicity? People like Kwanzaa, whose first book, Black AF, did 100,000. His second book, White, did about half that. And that was with all the free publicity in the world. For some reason, he gets publicity for a $100,000 campaign. Your boy gets nothing for a $400,000 campaign. A complete industry outsider. Kind of strange. Kind of really makes you think. Okay, so she talks about other things. Snails, parasites. She talks about empowering the next generation of female storytellers. Well, you should empower the next generation of male storytellers because they actually tell better stories. Oh, Bianca, how could you say that? Because I've read for decades. It is my opinion that yes, men are better storytellers, at least in science fiction and fiction in general and this kind of stuff. Okay, so she retweets someone else talking about to go get my pre-order copy of Pretty Deadly the Rat. It's just that good. Yeah, I'm sure you want a job in the industry, so you were just kissing butt as hard as you can. Okay, so another tweet talking about Pretty Deadly the Rat. Good for her. She's pushing it a little bit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not her tweet. She's retweeting someone else's tweet who is doing the work for her. Here's the thing about the professionals in comics. They have a weird habit of thinking they don't have to shill their own product. Very strange. The people in Comicsgate are not shy about pushing their own product. They will jump on other people's tweets and other people's threads to mention, to include their Indiegogo campaigns. They are hustling. They are trying to get that book funded. They're doing everything they can. Well, these people, the Mags Visagio, I think she actually complained once about having to promote her own book. This is not the 80s and the 90s. You have to promote. Promotion of a book. If you look at the time people spend, like your boy or Ethan, who've had two hugely successful campaigns, their YouTube energy spent promoting is about 95% of their time and dedication is just promoting their names on YouTube. The actual work going into the comic doesn't take nearly the amount of time as the promotion necessary to get people to see the comic and, more importantly, pay the $35 for the comic. Okay. I found this in her timeline. And this kind of, I'd like to say it shocked me, but this is just par for the course. El Exas Gionde. Is there a history or social studies teacher of color on my timeline who needs money for classroom supplies? Please introduce yourself below so I can help out and boost for others to help too. Send Amazon wish list links as well. A teacher of color who needs money. Well, okay, that's incredibly racist because there are more poor European students, and actually, I think there are more teachers of the light who teach in poor areas who are teaching students of color because they can't find enough teachers of color to teach in these garbage schools with violent kids. So it takes the teachers of the light to teach these kids. So she won't donate to a teacher of the light because of their skin color. Interesting. Interesting that this is acceptable to YouTube. Now, what is really interesting is that Kelly Sue Deconnick thought it was acceptable to retweet this. There are more poor European American students in the Appalachians, in the South, and pretty much all over the country who they need school supplies too. There are more poor European students because they're a majority of the country than there are poor Latino or African students. But she won't help them because they have the wrong pigmentation. This is something the left does, and this is something that is acceptable to the left. And this is why people are leaving the left. What's it called? Just move on or just walk away or something. This level of racism is insane. It should shock the conscience. There should be people on here saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? What if I said, hey, I want to start a European scholarship. I want a scholarship for people of European descent, Native Europeans. You must be European descent. Or how about this? You must be Eurasian. You must be of Eurasian descent to get these scholarships, to get this money. Well, you get kicked off Twitter forever. Your phone number would be banned. Your IP would be banned forever. So, okay, these black teachers with their black students some black students are showing their faces, letting you know, hey, we need school supplies. And I guess the European students are just s out of luck. So they're getting school supplies. She's donating to them. You can donate to whoever you want, of course. You can be as racist as you wish. It's just that Twitter supports this hypocrisy, and Kelly Sue Deconnick supports racism and hypocrisy. Okay, so she's donating to their Amazon wish list. Fair enough. There's one lady who jumps in here. Okay, my wife is soft, and I like her. Who has a pale white devil face, and her girlfriend looks like she's in shadows, but you can't see what color she is. And it says, in case she doesn't see this, my wife is an elementary special ed teacher, co-teaching social studies this year. I'll try to remember to point her this way tomorrow. She doesn't get any interaction, probably because she saw that pale white devil face and thought, of course, we can't help the poor European kids. I'm just saying the hypocrisy is staggering. And racism doesn't stop racism. It simply creates more racism. When people read this kind of comment, a teacher of color who needs money, you're saying, okay, these are the new rules that are on the table. We can discriminate by race. That is completely acceptable to you. You're saying that those are the rules. And they say, oh, no, it only works one way. But you know what? We know it doesn't work one way. Everyone can, and everyone is racist. And in my experience, African Americans and Asians are the most racist people on earth. Oh, no, because of cultural Marxist reasons. The thing is, we all know that the cultural Marxist reasons about power and privilege is horse garbage, because the only people with power and privilege are the people with the green paper. If you have wealth, then you have a certain degree of power and privilege. You can afford attorneys, and you can afford private schools. If you don't have wealth, you have no more power and privilege. It's pretty much equal across the board. So this is acceptable, and it's acceptable. I mean, nobody in the comments stood up and said this isn't right. Your racism has to be reported to Twitter, and shame on Kelly Sue Deconnick for being racist. Anyway, I thought this was interesting. So you know what? Maybe I'll take a look at the rat book, the old one from 2013. I'm sure it's just NPC garbage, because the new one comes out in September. And check out Big Steve on YouTube, one word, if you like the late night kind of thing. Come join us. We're in the stream. There's like a dozen of us. Really interesting guy. All right. See you guys next episode.